Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 21. And today we are going to be starting at the first year player draft. But of course, first let's get into how the team has been doing so far in the season. So as you can see, we are last in our division, last by a game actually. We're actually kind of sitting in that fourth spot for a while. We actually just fell below the Royals. As you can see here, we just finished up a series against them where we lost the series and fell one game below them in the standings. So just popping around the league. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. The Dodgers actually have come back to earth. Only one game ahead of the Diamondbacks in their division. So looks like no 126 win season or however many wins they had last year. But I'm just a quick look through the league. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Got a pretty bad AL East, was kind of surprising. The Red Sox really have not been good in this save at all. So let's now we'll go ahead and see how our team has been performing up to this point. Actually, before we do that, we're actually going to go over a slew of injuries that we have. So as you can see here, we pretty much have everyone on the shelf here. Matt Manning, really unfortunately, he tore his flexor tendon and he's out for an entire year. So out for basically this entire year and probably some of next year, to be honest, which is just really extremely disappointing. I mean, he's having a pretty good year, a ERA plus of 129. I mean, striking out nine guys per nine basically, and I mean, he's having a good year, but of course, he's one of our most important building blocks for the future. So you really hate to see him go down with an injury that's so serious. Because I mean, we really want him to be part of our future, and it's important that he is for us to be successful. And this just honestly just really sucks. And just continuing through, I mean, pretty much our whole pitching staff has been decimated. Matt Boyd, he's out for most likely the rest of the year, 2 to 3 months. Torn labrum. Faedo, he's been banged up. He was, of course, caught up because of all the injuries we've had to pitching. Casey Mize, he's gone down. Only for about a month, though. He actually just went down in the past few days. Daniel Norris, he's been down for some time, out for about 2 weeks. Ronnie Garcia, he's down. I think he basically went down at the very beginning of the year and has been out since. He's got about 2 more months left on the shelf. Bobby Dalbec, he fractured his foot. He's been out for a little bit, I believe. And then Almeas, he also fractured his foot, and he's about to come back relatively soon. So at least that is good. But yeah, as you can see, I'm basically what, one, two, three, four of our guys who are in our starting rotation to begin the year are hurt and are gonna miss basically the entire season. Pretty much all of them. I mean, not really Mize, but still, all of our starters are I'm gonna miss substantial time this year. So with that said, let's go back in the pitching. Michael Fulmer, of course, the only guy to start the season in the rotation that is currently healthy. And then we have senior slot in the seconds, but Joey Wentz, who actually has missed a lot of time himself. Only 9 innings pitched in the majors this year, and he was on the shelf for some time this year. But he has been good in the 2 games he started. Yeah, ERA under 1 there, very good in the 2 games he has started for us. Spencer Turnbull, kind of depth guy we've had up last year, he has been decent this year, at least better than he was last year, where he was awful. 4.4 FIP. ERA, of course, a lot lower, but performing at least decently compared to how he did last year, which is always good to see. Tyler Alexander, who came out of the bullpen last year, for the most part, a guy with pretty good control and a pretty average pitcher besides a plus changeup. He has been bad for us, to say the least. He was better of the bullpen, but you see that FIP over 6. So he's not been good. Tariq Skubal, of course, a lot of these injuries that we've had have allowed him to get into the rotation, and he, quite frankly, hasn't really been good, although he only has started 1 game, but he was pretty bad off the bullpen for us as a kind of a long guy. So that is another interesting thing. And of course, here with all the guys who have been hurt, most of the guys we've replaced, the guys who've been injured with were on the major league roster. It's like guys like Skubal and Alexander, Turnbull, guys from the bullpen. So Zach Houston, John Schreiber, and Drew Carlton have all been caught up. Actually, same with Nolan Blackwood. So pretty much all of these guys have been recalled from the minors to pretty much serve important bullpen roles for our team. So with all of that said, let's get into the hitters. Honestly, Jake Rogers has kind of been surprised for me this year. Of course, not really hitting well, but has a good on base percentage, or decent at least for catcher. 325, 388 slugging. Honestly, can't really complain about that with his pretty good defensive abilities. I mean, if he could kind of provide production like that, he definitely would be a guy who would continue to get major league at bats at catcher in the future. Maybe not, of course, in a starting role or everyday role, but at least as a valuable bench piece. And Jared Walker has been decently disappointed. 450 slugging, which isn't bad, but really hasn't gotten on base at all this year. Hasn't hit for any average, which of course we don't really care about, but still we'll like to see better numbers out of him. Brian Dozier has been pretty awful. We're gonna try to trade him and basically try to get anything we can from him around the deadline. Heimer Candelario, limited at bats this year with kind of the crowded corner infield we've had, but he's been good in the at bats he has gotten, and he's going to get a lot more since Dahlbeck is down with an injury. As you can see, slugging almost 500, pretty similar numbers to his year last year at this point. Of course, he did kind of regress at the end of the year, so we're going to see if, of course, that happens this year. Paredes has been pretty, well, not, he's been kind of disappointing for us. I mean, OBP at 316, slugging just over 400. I mean, he really hasn't been what we wanted offensively, but we've also kind of been shifting him all around the field this year. As you can see, we've been playing him in left, playing him at second, positions that he really didn't have any ability at earlier in the year. And that, of course, you can see he's learned to play throughout the time that he's been on the major league team this year. As you can see, his outfield ratings and infield ratings are both pretty good. He actually got a lot of time in left. I was inspired to play him in left a lot when Jacoby Jones went down with an injury for quite a while, and we didn't really have any viable options. So I figured, might as well just let him grow out there. I mean, we're not trying to win, so if he's terrible in left field, which he was, at least for now, when his ratings are bad, that wouldn't really hurt us at all since we weren't necessarily trying to win. Other guys here, because Zach Cozart, who was of course in the minors at the start of the season, he's been really good in the bats he's gotten. Of course, Almeida was hurt for a while. Castro was also hurt for a while, so he was pretty much manning the shortstop duties all last month. Same with Goodrum. Goodrum was hurt for a while, so he couldn't play short. Wouldn't be playing anywhere. Victor Reyes hasn't been nearly as good as he was last year, but of course we hope that he can get back to that. But he's still been playing a great outfield defense for us. Dylan Cousins, he was doing better in the year. Actually, he started out pretty bad. Got better than his current numbers. Basically because of a platoon we kind of started to implement. We called up DJ Peters, who's been kind of exclusively been playing against the righties, but his numbers have been really good in the limited at bats that he has gotten so far this year. And you can see Paredes right now slotted into the DH, basically just getting him those everyday at bats. We can focus on developing him at a position and concentrate on that probably next year during spring training. But now it's just, I feel like, important to just get him as many at bats as we can. So with all of that said, I think we're done reviewing all of that. So let's get into the first year player draft, where we will start that up and just go quick back to see where we are picking this year. Of course, we're picking third. So look into that, and now let's just get to all players, see who we're going to be looking at this year. Starting suggestions, scouting director suggests that we pick up Dave Major. Looks like he's going to pretty much have 2+ pitches, that fastball and that curveball. Good control, decent stuff and movement. I'm really kind of having 2 borderline pitches, so it looks like if he doesn't really develop, he's would at least be an effective bullpen piece. But of course, we're not looking to draft an effective bullpen guy at this point in the draft for the number 3 pick. Chris Turner looks like a decent catcher, decent bat at least. Doesn't really have any arm. A good ability though, so if that arm doesn't develop, he can still be a useful defensive catcher. Ken Stratum. Looks like we don't really know that much about him. Looks like power bat outfielder, fast. Good range in the outfield that Eric could definitely develop. So he's definitely an interesting guy, at least that we could pick up. And David Mifflin here looks like a first base guy. Pretty decent bat, good contact bat. Looks like that he's going to develop into not a lot of good discipline, at least. Let's see a scouting accuracy. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the guys who are at the top, at least. Let's go back here. We don't really know that much about and what they're going to be. So that's kind of disappointing to see, kind of wondering what the scout has been doing all this time. I think we might go with Major here. Just kind of Mifflin, his personality is not the greatest, it looks like. And if we were to keep this pick around and not trade him for anyone, definitely would like a guy with good personality, so because that usually helps their development a lot, and they're both pretty low. Major looks like OSA doesn't like him as much, and OSA kind of likes Mifflin a little bit, but also he's pretty bad defensively. So I think we're gonna go with Major with our first pick and see what else is out there from then on. Stratum, I definitely want to pick him second. I liked his ratings. See another outfielder here, corner guy, slash first base. Decent power. Again, another guy that our scout doesn't really know anything about, which is pretty disappointing to see. This reliever here, a nice 2-pitch reliever. Looks like he could be a decent guy in the future. Dylan Dodge, kind of a whatever corner infielder. Not too impressed with him. Xavier Glover, looks like a high discipline catcher, although his ratings aren't that good. Joe Fegan, I think we're honestly going to go with this guy. Corner outfield, first base guy, good power bat. We'll take him and then go on from there, see if any the other guys are available. Okay, Glover, I'm going to go with him here. Like his ratings, especially as a catcher. Seacamp, him here. This guy's definitely a corner infield, corner outfield guy. Decent bat. It's weird. He doesn't really have much infield range, but he's good at turning the double play, which is kind of interesting. I definitely wouldn't play him in a major league shortstop position. I think we'll go ahead and draft him anyway. And with all the guaranteed guys gone, we'll just auto-complete the rest of the draft and do that. So I think I'm pretty happy with that draft. There wasn't a great amount of talent, especially in that third pick that we had, but I'm not too concerned. Yeah, see, Dalbeck just got injured there. That's just his update on his injury that, of course, I told you about. Okay, the guys we wanted to sign are signed. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna meet the man of this guy. See anybody else. Interesting guy. I don't really want to sign any of these 1-star guys. Just quick check on all of these guys here. They're not interested in him. Not really interested in him either. Okay, yeah, so none of those guys are really of any interest to me. Anyway, so yeah, I think that is going to do it for this video. We'll take care of the international free agents and trade deadline, all of those kind of moves in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next episode.